Hello friends, this video on digestion and absorption part 2 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. With this idea in mind, let us see what is that complex to simple conversion that takes place. So when I say complex, I am again talking about the same molecules like carbohydrates or proteins. So let us look at their simpler form. So we will know that what is our aim by the end of the process of digestion. So by end of digestion, carbohydrates should get converted into what? We should know that. So when you talk about complex carbohydrates, we basically talk about the polysaccharides. The polysaccharides could be starch or glycogen. So these polysaccharides are made up of several saccharide units. So these polysaccharides in turn get converted to disaccharides. So here if you see, there are two monosaccharide unit. Monosaccharide is nothing but the simple sugar. So they are joined together by the glycosidic linkage. We have spoken about all these things in the lesson on biomolecules, you remember? So these disaccharides again in turn can be converted into monosaccharides. So if you look at this is the simplest form of carbohydrate. So whatever carbohydrate we consume, they are in the complex forms, maybe in the form of starch or something. So they needs to be converted into disaccharides, which in turn needs to be converted into monosaccharides. So these monosaccharides are the absorbable form of carbohydrates. Similarly, if you talk about proteins, this is how the structure of protein looks like. So many amino acids joined together by various types of peptide bonds and some hydrogen bonds as well. So if you see, this can be converted into these are proteins are nothing but polypeptides. That is, there are several peptide linkages between several amino acids. They in turn get converted into dipeptides, which in turn get converted into the amino acids, which are the basic building block of protein. So you must remember that, you would be remembering that we spoke about the 20 amino acids which exist in nature, and it is by permutation and combination of those 20 amino acids that so many proteins are built. Similarly, when you talk about fats again are complex structures and they can be further broken down into simple fatty acids. So the fats can be converted into triglycerides or diglycerides. They can in turn be converted to monoglycerides. They can be converted into simple fatty acids and glycerol, because the final composition of fats is the simple fatty acids and glycerol. So end of the day, we would want all complex fat molecules to get converted into these two forms. You talk about nucleic acids. So this is how the nucleic acids look like, whether you talk of DNA or RNA. These nucleic acids are actually made up of several nucleotides. And what is a nucleotide? A nucleotide has a sugar unit, a pentose sugar and a base and a phosphate group. Now this nucleotide needs to be converted into nucleosides. And what are nucleosides? So nucleosides would be the same nucleotide without the phosphate group. So it is further broken down into a simpler form. So if you compare this structure of nucleic acid, when it is broken down into several nucleotides, so the nucleotide looks simpler when compared to nucleic acid. Now this nucleotide, when broken down into nucleosides, which has only the sugar and the base, that looks even simpler than a nucleotide. And this nucleoside again can be broken down into the sugar and the base. So if you compare this structure of nucleic acid with this structure of the pentose sugar and the base, obviously this is the simplest form, and in this form it is absorbable by different cells of the body. So this is the conversion which we were talking about in digestion, that these complex biomolecules need to be converted into their simplest form, and by simplest form we mean the basic building block of all these complex biomolecules. So now let us talk about the process of digestion. Now digestion again is a multi-step process. It does not happen in just one single step. And in this picture you can actually see how the process of digestion looks like. I mean, which are the organs which participate in this process. Looks quite complex, right? But as we go ahead, you will see that it is not actually that complex. So when you talk about digestion, it involves the following basic steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. So all these steps together form the nutrition. Nutrition in the sense, when I say nutrition, nutrition is not just only about the food which we eat. It is also about how we take that food inside, that is ingestion, which is intake of food, how the food is digested inside our body, that is how it is broken down from complex to simpler form, how the simpler form is absorbed by different parts of the body, so that is absorption, how that absorbed food is used up by different cells of the body, that is assimilation, and how the remaining undigested part of the food, whichever portion of the food could not be digested by the body, throwing that out of the body, that is egestion. So all these steps together form the process, entire process of nutrition. So in this lesson we are obviously going to talk about ingestion, because ingestion is again a part of the digestive system. We are definitely going to talk about digestion. We'll also talk about absorption, and egestion is again a part of the digestive system. So more or less we'll cover all of them, because all of them are to some extent the part of digestion. So when I say digestion, we are going to now, since in this lesson we are going to talk about the entire digestive system or the entire digestive process as a whole, therefore all of these like intake of food, ingestion and egestion, throwing out of the undigested food, they all are also part of the digestive process. So the process of digestion is also a step in that whole digestive process. So in this lesson we are going to now talk about the entire process of digestion or the digestive system. So let us now talk about the digestive tract. So what is the digestive tract? Digestive tract is you can say the entire pathway, the entire path through which the food which we eat has to pass. So that is the digestive tract. So this entire path has many organs in between. For example, you want to travel from a place A to a place B, right? Now let us suppose this is the route which you have to follow. This is how the road is. You just can't help it. This is how the route is. Correct? So you will actually start from here and you will have to follow this entire path. Now in between you will find some malls. Sometimes you will find some flyovers. Again somewhere you will find some checkposts. So all those things will be there on the way and you have to pass through all of them. Correct? So in a very similar way, while going through this process of digestion, the food actually passes through a series of organs, you can say, or it is actually a tube-like structure, but that tube-like structure in between form different organs. So this entire pathway through which the food has to pass through during the process of digestion is called the digestive tract. This digestive tract is also known as alimentary canal. It is called a canal because it is a tube-like structure. You will get to know when we actually speak about it. Now there are different organs which together form this digestive tract. So what are these organs? We'll see very soon. Now talking about the entire path or the entire tube, it is a 9-meter long tube extending from mouth to anus. So it starts from the mouth and it ends at anus. So it is that long a tube, but the tube in between takes different shapes and different forms depending upon its function. So let us see what are the organs which form a part of the alimentary canal or the digestive tract. So this is your digestive tract. It starts from here. This is the starting point. So this is your point A and this is your point B. So this entire tube-like structure which you see is your digestive tract. So now you might wonder, this doesn't look like a tube, but it is actually a swollen part of the tube. Again, when you see this also doesn't look like a tube, but it is like a very coiled structure of the same tube. So that's how we consider this entire thing as a tube. So this is alimentary canal. And which are the organs which are important part of the alimentary canal and contribute to the process of digestion? They are mouth, buccal cavity, which is also known as oral cavity. That is the cavity inside our mouth, the open space which you see inside your mouth. Esophagus, which is also known as the food pipe. So here if you see, this is your mouth. So inside the mouth, this cavity is your oral cavity. Food pipe, this pipe-like structures through which the food passes, that is your food pipe or esophagus, whatever you call it. Next is stomach. So this esophagus ends into a swollen bag-like structure, and this is stomach. After that is the small intestine. So you see from the stomach, this orange color tube, from there it starts this coiled structure, which is the small intestine. So after small intestine is the large intestine. So the small intestine tube connects to the large intestine here. So this green colored structure which ends at the anus, this green colored structure is the large intestine. So these are the important parts of the alimentary canal. There are some other parts as well, for example pharynx. There are some other organs also which participate in the process of digestion, for example liver and pancreas. So we will talk about them to understand the process of digestion. But when you talk about the alimentary canal, these are the organs which form a part of the alimentary canal. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.